seeing men commenting, artists who can sing vs who can't. Like, just tell me you don't get no girls. Just tell me, like, your mother didn't love you.
What?
Hey, what up? Welcome back to another video on one of the YouTube channels ever, and today we're going to be taking a look at quite possibly the most uncalled for crash out that I've ever seen on the internet. And that's honestly a pretty big title to have, because I've seen people lose their minds over basically nothing, and that's pretty much exactly what happened in this situation. But before I get too ahead of myself, I know just by the title alone, a lot of you probably seen that name and were just wondering, what even is that? Because really the only clues that you have to believe that this name is even a person is the fact that there's a picture of her in the thumbnail, and I said crash out in the title. But without that, and just looking at the name alone, not only would you probably not know how to pronounce it, but you'd probably think it's some sort of exotic snack or something. But talking about Beabadoobie's name aside and getting into it, this situation really involves just about 3 people, with Beabadoobee being the main one, and if you don't know who she is, she's pretty much a singer. Yup, that's it. That's all you need to know for the purposes of this video. So, it involves Beabadoobee, and before I list these other 2 names, make sure you're locked in and ready, because these 2 are really gonna come out of left field. But Beabadoobee, NBA Youngboy, and King Von. Now, after hearing those names, I know you might need a moment to process that. This is the crossover of doom. And at this point, you're also probably wondering, why would these 3 people ever be in any sort of crossover together? And that pretty much leads us into what she's so mad about in the first place. And getting into it, I'm of course going to be showing you clips like usual, but since this is such a wacky situation, just for context, there's been a pretty big meme / trend going around on TikTok, and off the jump, if you can already put 2 and 2 together, meme / trend and her being mad, you can probably already tell that she's getting mad over a stupid meme. But there's been a wacky joke going around, and if you've ever seen any sort of video like, oh, YouTubers that can dance versus YouTubers that can't, or streamers that are good at games versus streamers that aren't, it's pretty much the exact same format as that, but instead being artists that can sing versus artists that can't. And with a little brief context, I'm just gonna go ahead and toss up a clip now so you can see it for yourself.
Artists who can sing versus artists who can't sing.
Can't remember how to say your name.
Artists who can sing versus artists who can't sing.
Can't remember how to say your name.
So like you could probably tell from those clips, it's clearly supposed to be not a joke. Yappity dappity do over here can't sing, and NBA Youngboy can. Those weren't even effects in the video. He can just do that. But jokes aside, these videos are clearly meant to be a joke. And the joke in these videos is clearly just reversing the roles of who can and can't sing. I don't know how laser beams shooting from his eyes, glowing with radiant aura, and explosions wasn't enough to be able to let you know that this is a joke. Oh, and also obviously I forgot to mention, he's literally singing opera in these videos. Bro never did that, ever. But just for those of you that somehow aren't convinced that this is a joke yet, I'm gonna go ahead and show you one last example.
Kind-hearted, gentle-spirited rapers versus dangerous rapers you should avoid.
Jumped out of bed and I ran outside, feeling so ecstatic, it's the best day ever.
Alright, I'll stop with the clips. That's enough brain dead content for now. So, after this meme started getting popular and blowing up, people pretty much started going to her Instagram comments and commenting things from these videos like artists that can't sing, pretty much just playing up on the joke, because when something's trending, you usually end up seeing some sort of byproduct of that in people's comments. And instead of her being a normal person and realizing that this is clearly a joke that, if anything, is just getting her more attention, she instead decided to absolutely lose her mind over this, with allegedly not even checking out what these videos were about, and then post a video pretty much trash talking and degrading a lot of her own fans.
I've seen so many comments about this, but I've never seen the actual videos, but The fucking men commenting, artists who can sing vs who can't.
Now I'm gonna stop this immediately and just point out two big things here. Like I said earlier, the first one being that she said that she's never seen the videos, and the second thing being that why is she just targeting men? How do you know that it's only men? And throughout this video, she just turns into the insecurity final boss and then just starts attacking men for nothing. I don't even know how she managed to turn this situation into a gender thing.
Like, just tell me you don't get no girls. Just tell me, like, your mother didn't love you. Just, like, you might as well just say it.
What is even going on here? I know I said she was the insecurity final boss, but she's also clearly the egotistical final boss. Like, what is this? People are literally making wacky content where the joke is clearly that you can sing and the other person can't, and they swap the roles around, and you're just instantly escalating it to your mother doesn't love you. How would you ever get to that conclusion? This is also a good time to bring up that about a day after she released this video, she also released a quote apology, and in that video she doesn't really apologize for anything, but she also does say that she wasn't specifically talking about the people here making the jokes, but instead people making different comments, which I don't really believe that at all. That's just a way for her to try to cover her ass after messing up, but let's just continue with this for now.
It's obvious, it's plain. I've stalked your fucking profiles and you're Does it hurt me? Not really, if I'm being completely honest. I know men are mad at me because I probably get more girls than them, and I'm not even gay. I'm not even gay. I don't even know what I am. Maybe I'm bi, who knows. But in all seriousness, who gives a fuck? Okay, artists, you can sing vs you can't. I still got more money than you.
I don't understand how she can sit here and spam who cares, this doesn't affect me, I don't care, while also literally recording a video of you spazzing out on people that are majority your fans over a joke. And not even any joke, but a joke that's pretty much saying that you're good at singing.
And you're still a man. So, also the block button exists. Like, I will literally just block. Also, I just haven't seen any of those videos. Like, I've seen the comments, but I'm just not on that side of TikTok, and I feel like the people who care about my art and listen to my music aren't like weird incel men that like have no friends. I feel like they have like a cool social life and they go outside and touch grass. So I just don't, it's not part of my radar, but I see your comments and I'm blocking your shit, okay? It's not that hard for me. I'm just like block keywords, like it's not... You're dumb.
So we have incel doesn't go outside, your mother doesn't like you, she gets more money than you, and she gets more women than you. It's a bad day to be a male Yappity-Doobie fan, and I just really can't wrap my head around why she's pushing this idea so hard that it's just men. Even if it is majority men, why are you solely attacking them as if they've ruined your life? She also just keeps spamming how it's not that big of a deal to her, and if that's really the case, you wouldn't have even made this video in the first place, bonehead of a doobie. But after she posted that video and gave it some time to simmer and marinate, she started to realize that she was in fact not on the right side of the fence. Even her dedicated diehard fans were in her comments saying that, yeah, this ain't it. And like I said earlier, after this she decided to release what was supposed to be an apology, but like we said earlier, with her being the egotistical, insecure demon, of course, instead of actually apologizing for her lashing out, she instead pretty much tried to alter the situation and try to more justify what she said by switching it up and basically just lying about who she was referring to in that video.
I'm gonna try to explain this as clearly as possible in the maturest way possible, in hopes that you guys understand, even though you probably won't. I'm gonna use school as an example. I don't know why, but okay. So you're at school, and there's this one dude that just keeps prodding you with a stick, and is saying a joke, and it's funny. I'm like, okay, fair enough, funny. And then it happens a couple more times, and he's like prodding you, and I'm like, okay, this is getting kind of annoying, but it's still funny. It's still funny. And then it gets to a point where it literally just involves your entire life because it's constantly being shoved into your face. Like, dude, it was funny, but now it's pissing me off.
So even though she is losing her mind, I'm not gonna just only hate on her and act like I don't understand what she's saying here, because it definitely makes sense. You know, someone constantly making the same joke over and over again, it does get to a point where it is annoying. But the difference between this and someone poking you in real life is, not only is it obviously not real life, so you can just completely avoid it, but it's also not even a harmful joke or meme at all. Like I said, if anything, it's getting you more attention to your name. And I also want to say that memes, especially ones that come from TikTok, don't really last that long at all. So if you can't take people joking about you for possibly maybe 2 weeks at max, then maybe you just shouldn't be a big figure on the internet at all. Because no matter what, it's basically bound to happen to every big creator.
When you get incels rushing to your comment section and you get a flood of comments of the same thing, a load of other comments start to surface. Like if you're on the internet and you start going viral, a lot of people will be onto your shit naturally, and it's something that I have struggled with and have tried to come to terms with. That's just the inevitability of being like around.
So I'm gonna just keep it real with you guys here. So now she's instead trying to claim that the commenters that she was talking about is a bunch of the actual weirdos that a lot of female creators or female figures basically inevitably get in their comments no matter what. And she's trying to say that, oh yeah, I was talking about those people because since the situation got so big, I started to get flooded with those types of comments. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like that's not a problem. Of course that is a problem, and that's probably a bad thing to go through, but what I think is even worse than that is realizing that you clearly messed up, and instead of taking responsibility for that and just accepting that, you instead try to spin the situation into a sensitive topic that is also technically true, but it's a completely separate situation than what's actually going on here. It's basically the equivalent to when someone does something stupid and gets in trouble for it, they'll do something like pull the race card instead of actually taking fault for what they did. This is basically just a trashy way to take all of the blame off of you, shift it to a sensitive topic that is also true, while also basically defending yourself from all criticism because you can just pull the, oh, so you're saying sexual harassment against women isn't a bad thing? And like I said before, I can't get the point across enough that this is a really garbage thing to do, and you have to be a certain type of person to really even try it.
When I get a flood of these comments from this one like silly meme video that I have been commenting on. Okay, this is another thing. This is what's so funny to me is if you go through this like the artist who can't sing, who can sing videos, I have commented on them. And this is the thing, like I feel like my comments just get hidden, but you can go and check. I have commented being like, this is funny. Like, this is low-key funny to me.
And this part right here really just said all that I needed to hear. She's contradicted herself way too many times. Like we just seen a few clips ago, she's trying to claim that she was specifically referring to the people making the weird harassment type comments when earlier in the first video, she specifically said she was talking about the people making the jokes. And now she's talking about not only has she seen the videos, but she's been commenting on them, which directly goes against what she said at first when she claimed, I've never seen any of the videos and me nor my fans are on that side of TikTok to even get those videos. So, with that being said, I'm not gonna sit here and beat a dead horse or waste anyone else's time with nonsense because this video does continue on, but true to Yappity-Doo's name, it truly is just her yapping and constantly contradicting herself even more, while also managing to squeeze in a bit more hate for men and constantly calling them incels. So with that said, that's pretty much it on the Bartholomew situation, and if you made it this far in the video, you liked something, so make sure to drop a sub or else I'll be catching you up on that walk and punching your head off. But I'm not gonna hold you up for too long, so I'll catch you guys in the next one, and hopefully it won't be in a month this time.